It might be repetitive for some people, but it's drawing. I mean, even if you repeat something that you already knew, you learn again something. That's what has been happening for me for 20 years. So every time I just learn new things from a very simple, like even line drawing. All right, without any further ado, let me kill this camera, and then we start uh, with this camera. All right, so drawing is nothing more than just putting some line on a surface. So the line can be created by anything, any applicator, which basically we start with a simple pencil, and the surface can be anything. So for now, we just have pencil and paper, but it can be a piece of charcoal on a drywall, or maybe a chalk on a cement wall. So it doesn't matter. Even it can be a stroke of water on like on tarmac, or on let's say on the surface of a sidewalk. So you can draw anything. I mean, you can draw with anything as long as you put some lines on a surface. You are drawing. So as I mentioned, lines are very important. It They might look very simple, but it's the base of drawing. Everybody thinks that drawing is all about shading, but that's not true. It's all about although shading is important, but drawing is all about just lines and then shapes, values, and edges. But line is the base. For example, so if I draw a line like this, it doesn't mean anything to you. Or if I add another one, again, it doesn't mean anything. And also this one, just some random lines. Or this one, or maybe it's coming together. I just need to add two little circles here, and there our brain starts to building something. And then if I put a circle around it, it becomes a face. So it means that drawing is about a line, but your line should be organized. You cannot put some random lines and then call it drawing. You have to you have to direct your lines in a, let's say, organized fashion. Or for example, if I just put some random lines like this here, it doesn't mean anything. But as I mentioned, the combination of different lines, and let's say in a, let's say, organized fashion, it gives you some meaning. So if I add some curves to these lines, then we start to get something out of these lines. Okay, just add some curves. So it's lines, but we have to know how to use our lines. So that's about it. So with this quick introduction, let's start with our pencil and paper. So the very simple tools that we use is pencil and simple, but it looks simple, but it's not very simple. It can be, it's not complicated, but it can be very wide in terms of the ability that this sim tool has. So it's just a simple pencil, and then maybe, okay, I can just draw a line here, but it's not just a line, and also it's not just the way you draw the line. First of all, we have to talk about the way you handle the pencil. So this is like writing style. So you can hold the pencil like this, and also we can hold the pencil like this, which is called stick holding, stick style holding. Basically, you put it in the palm of your hand and then hold it in your thumb, and so this way you hold the pencil. Let's see what's the difference between the quality of the lines when we hold the pencil like this or like this. When you hold the pencil like writing style, it means that you have to anchor your wrist on the paper so you can have a better control. So when you want to draw a line, so you can still draw a line, but your maneuver is very uh, little, very limited. So you can just go from here to here because your wrist is fixed on paper, or you can just do this, okay? But when we hold the pencil like this, it means that we don't have to put our wrist, or we don't have to anchor any part of our arm or hand or fingers on the paper. It means that we can use the whole arm. So I can just draw a line all the way from here to here. And if you need any control, you can just touch the paper with your pinky or this knuckle here, just anchor it here so it gives you more control. But some people even just don't do that. They just go from here to here without anchoring the finger. But some people just do that. Okay, so that's the difference between the quality of the lines when you hold the pencil like writing or stick holding a stick style. So let's change the page to, and also I want to talk about different lines and quality of the lines, but before that, when we want to draw a line, we always have to remember a line is nothing more than just connecting two imaginary dots from A to B, like from here to here. Okay, when I draw a line like this, it means that I have two imaginary dots here, and then I connect them with one straight line. So this is a good line, but these two imaginary points, this is not a good line. So don't do that. Always do this, not this. Okay? This is a very confident and very brave line, but this one, I see lots of fear in this line. It means that there's no confidence in this line. When you draw like this, it means that you don't know where you are going. Okay, but when you do this or do this, these are good, but this one, no. So remember that when you want to draw a line, just draw one confident line. Don't worry about if it's like in this right direction or it's not, but at least be confident that it's just one line. Just imagine points, draw a line. 2 points, draw a line. 2 points, draw a line. Like this. Okay? Never, never hesitate. That's the very first lesson in drawing a line. So, when we draw lines, we have to remember that we are dealing with four types or four different directions of lines, and let's say five, including dots. So, basically, we have vertical lines in drawing, we have horizontal lines, we have diagonal lines, and we have curves. So these curves can be like wavy, but curves. And also we have dots. So these are the type of material we are dealing with in so vertical lines, horizontal lines, diagonal lines, curves, and dots. So one thing that is that in nature we don't have these things. In nature, you don't find any straight lines like this, like vertical lines, horizontal lines. Everything is nature is like curved and wavy and dots. It's more organic. But for now, it doesn't matter. drawing, and then we want to create whatever we want based on our imagination, observation. So we use all of these lines by all means. Let's shift the page and talk about now how to draw good lines. All right, so the exercise we are doing together is that we try to put a few lines here, but we hold the pencil like writing style. Uh, so we hold the pencil like this, and we try to draw a series of solid vertical drawings. Okay, so just imagine two imaginary points here, A to B, and then draw one straight line from A to B. And do the same thing with for horizontal lines. And same thing with diagonal lines. And we do the same thing drawing curves. So when you hold the pencil like this, drawing curves is really easy because I can anchor your draw some really nice curves like this. Okay. So that's the first exercise. And then we do the same thing, holding the pencil like a stick. It means that it gives us more freedom to draw longer lines. Don't worry about the quality of the line for now, just the length might be different. So try to have longer lines. Uh, the only thing you have to remember is that if you want to draw a vertical line, hold the pencil horizontal. And if you want to draw a horizontal line, hold the pencil vertical. And for diagonal, you can hold the pencil diagonal. And for the curved, same, diagonal. So the rule is that the pencil should be perpendicular to the direction of the line. For example, if the line is vertical, the pencil is horizontal, perpendicular to the direction of the line. So I just draw some vertical lines, but longer because arm allows me to do that. And for horizontal lines, sorry, and then I just do some diagonal lines and some curves. Okay, and maybe I just add some waves here. This is a good warm-up exercise before every drawing session. So you just warm up your arm and hand in different directions. So now we learned how to use a pencil, how to hold a pencil to draw different type of lines. Now we have to see what we can do, how we can control our pencil to change the quality of the lines we're drawing. So let's say the very first thing we can just control is the pressure. So you can vary the pressure that you put on pencil, so it gives you different quality of lines. For example, if I just put a little pressure here, I just get a very thin, light line like this. But if I add more pressure, I get darker and a little thicker. And if I put lots of pressure, I get really dark and thicker lines. So all these three type of lines like this, one, two, three. I drew them with one pencil. What is different is that the amount of pressure I put on pencil, right? So it means you can draw with different quality of lines, combination of them actually, so you don't have to start drawing with this or finish with this like dark line. You can combine them, or you can pressure down the road. So you can start with a little pressure, can add pressure, start with pressure and then increase the pressure, or you can start with maximum pressure and then decrease the pressure down the road. You see, you get different quality of lines. Or let's do another exercise. I can start with a little pressure and then put lots of pressure and then decrease the pressure. So it's like thin light goes to thick dark and then again thin light line. And I can do the same thing with a curved line. So little pressure here, lots of pressure here, little pressure, maximum pressure, little pressure, less, more, less. Or let's say start lots of pressure, release, pressure, release, pressure, release. So you see the quality of these lines. That's what we use in drawing. Combination of the uh, different thicknesses for lines. So that's one thing we can do to change quality of our lines. So let's do a quick exercise together. For example, we just draw some vertical lines. We start with a little pressure and then we increase pressure down the road. Okay, we do the same thing with horizontal line. We start with a little pressure, then increase it down the road. Oops, put too much pressure. I broke the lid. And also some diagonal lines, but this time I start with a little pressure and then release. So light, press, release. Light, press, release. And we do the same with a curve. Okay. So we learn how to control pressure of our hand and pencil on paper. So now we know how to control the amount of pressure we put on our lines. So it changes the quality of the lines. Also, the second thing we can just vary to give more quality to the lines is that when you hold the pencil like this, so this technique doesn't work here. Maybe it works here, it's a little difficult, but pencil like this, you can always, while drawing, spin the pencil in between your fingers, like, okay, you can spin the pencil. So it means that when you are drawing a line, you can always spin the pencil, see the quality of the line is totally different from don't spin the pencil. I put the same amount of pressure, but I try to spin the pencil between my fingers. So the quality of these two lines are totally different. And also, if I try to vary the pressure using this technique, now I get a really, really nice quality of the line. So let's do this. I just change the pressure and try to spin it. I do the same thing for horizontal drawing. And diagonal. And also curves. Okay. So these lines are precious, really precious. I mean, these are the lines that we need to see in drawing. Even you can draw a very, very simple object, but if you change the quality of the drawing, the look of the drawing is totally different if you change the quality of the lines. For example, to draw a simple like coffee mug with a very thin uniform lines, it looks something like this. Okay, but if I try to change the quality of the lines, it will look something like this. Okay, so these two drawings are totally different in terms of the drawing. Also, then you can add some shading. So lines can be used to add shading. For example, just add little lines here. I try to keep the lines uniform. And some lines here. So that's the first drawing. For the second one, then I try to uh, vary the pressure, the lines I'm putting, and also spin the pencil between my hands, my fingers. Okay. So I like this drawing better. So it looks more organic to me than this. This one is not bad, but looks more mechanical. But this one looks much better. And then it has a style. It looks like somebody's style. So as I mentioned always, as an artist or painter or person who draws, so remember that you are a camera. You don't have to imitate exactly what you see in your surroundings. So you are an artist. You have to interpret through your brain and then just tell it again with your pencil and hand. So that's what an artist does. So we learned about quality of the lines. It means that we already talked about lines. Okay, we talked about just put this. We talked about lines. So we are going to talk about a little shape, and we talked about value. But let's start value for now. So value means different shades of gray on your paper. For example, when you have, say, 4 boxes here. So the first one is white, blank white. So the second one is like light gray. The third one is dark gray, and the last one is pitch black. So we have 4 different values here. So values just give us the opportunity to create form out of shape. That we have a flat shape here, which looks like a circle. It's a flat shape. But if we add some value to this shape, this value gives us opportunity to see this as a form, a 3D form, a volume. So this simple circle now looks like a sphere, right? That's what value does in our drawing. So before jumping this, it's a little too much. So we talk about just values for now. We learn how to control our pencil and how to draw lines. It means that we can create values even with our lines. So if I add some really thin, simple lines here, it's called hatches. So it gives us value. So this square looks a little darker from this one. It is a very light gray. If you squint your eyes, you see the difference. And also we learned that if we put more pressure on our lines, we get darker lines. So I put more pressure, and then it gives me a darker value here, right? Also, the density of our lines give us more value. For example, I put the same lines here, with the same pressure and same density. So these two are the same value, but for the second, add more lines in between these lines. It means that I increase the density of the lines. So now this square is darker from the left one here, okay? So then we learn that we can create values by adding lines to a shape and change the density and or lightness of the line. So it means that we can create values just lines. We don't need to use the side of my pencil, which I haven't talked yet about. So and also the direction of the line is very important. Although the lines give us value, but sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, the direction of the lines can trick the audiences or the viewers into see the form as the artist wants them to see. I give you a few examples. For example, I just put a flat shape here, like a circle, and then I just add some lines here. Very simple. So if I ask you what is, you just say it's just a gray circle. But if we try to change direction of the lines, it's the same shape. I just put a vertical line in between, same value of the line I have here. But what I do is that I just add a little curve here, and the more I go to the side, I just make the curves a little deeper and deeper. Now, the direction of the lines gives us illusion of that, oh, we are looking at a ball, it's a form, it's a volume, it's not just a simple shape. And as we learned that when we add density to our line, we can create more value. So what I do is that for the bottom half, I just try to add more lines in between all the lines I have here. So you see we have more value here. It looks like there's a then putting some light here, and then we see a shape here. And now the only thing we need to do is we add just a little diagonal lines down here. So it's like acting as cast shadow. So with just some simple lines, you manage to create a 3D volume or a 3D form, which gives you some information about this object, the source of light, and also the shadow which this object creates on the surface. Or another example, let's put a very simple uh, rectangle shape here, and then I just add some lines here, very uniform. So the shape looks very flat, but if I try to play with my lines in terms of density and thickness and lightness of the lines, so I start with dark, strong lines here, and the more I go to the center, I try to vary the density and darkness of the lines here. Again, I start very dark. As I go toward the middle, I just change the density and then lightness. Also, I still have room to add more lines here, darker, and again, just make them lighter as I go to the middle. Now this is giving us the illusion of looking at a cylinder shape. So in lighter, in the sides, it's a little darker. And even if I some diagonal lines here, looks like this cylinder is casting some shadow here on the surface it's standing on. Okay, so that's what I want to tell you about the uh, possibilities of using lines in your drawing. We haven't used the side of our pencil. It's very simple in terms of in comparison with the lines that we use. Let me just make it. Okay. So side of pencil is very simple to explain. It just gives us a very wide, let's say, flat surface, so you can just draw it. You just have to hold this like this, and then try to have the maximum length of the side to touch the surface of the paper, and then we draw lines. Easily we do that. This almost same rule applies. So if you put more pressure, you get darker line. If you put less pressure, you get really lighter, let's say, surfaces. And if you vary the pressure down the road, so you can change the effect, the quality. Okay, so that's exactly what we do. So as I mentioned before, you can create value with side of your pencil. So for the first one, I just lightly brush the paper, which gives me a very light value, light gray. And I add more pressure here and also lots of pressure here. So I get 4 different values with the side of pencil. So basically, that's what we use in drawing. So side of our pencil for some shading, and also tip of the pencil for lines, different lines. So the outlines, contour lines, hatches, cross hatches. So I haven't talked about cross hatches. Cross hatches is nothing more than just hatches, but for the second round you change the direction. So this way you get cross hatches, and then you get different values. So you have some hatches here, the same hatches here, but if I put cross hatch on top, I get a different value. Okay. All right. So questions for everybody is good? Okay. So now we learn how to use our pencil to draw some lines and let's say put some value on paper. Let's do some quick exercises together to do more nice drawing together. So for the exercise, what I do is that we are trying to create some decorative parts together. So for the first one, what I do is that put a square here, my framework, and what I do is I just draw some vertical lines. I try to hold the pencil like stick, hold the style, and then just draw some vertical lines. I spin the pencil and try to vary the picture. Just random vertical lines. Doesn't matter how many, what the spacing is. It shouldn't be even, and vary the spacing. Okay, so that's what I did. So the next step is that I just start with this. So we have some column here. So maybe 10, 12 columns, I don't know. But I start with the second. I leave the first one blank for now. I start with the second one, and then I put just horizontal line in the middle, and above this middle line, I try to add some curves into this column. So you can vary the direction and spacing. Don't have to be even or spread it evenly. And then below this horizontal line, I just do some downward curves. As I mentioned, vary the direction, um, the angle, and all the spacing of the curves. So I leave the third one blank, and then I do the same thing with fourth one. This time I can change the place of this horizontal line. It doesn't have to be in the middle. I just put it a little more up here, and then above this I put some curves, and below this downward curves. So we are trying to practice things that we learned in terms of how to draw lines and how to use pencil, but at the same time we try to create a nice piece. So third, second, fourth, also leave the fifth one blank. I go to the sixth one. This time I put the horizontal line here. Below that I go like downward curves, and above that upward curves. So just go on like this until we finish. Okay, that's this stage. So after that, I use the side pencil and randomly I try to add. You see, we created lots of sectors here on each of the columns that we put these um, curves. We created basically some sectors here. What I do is that I use the side of my pencil, or even you can use the tip of your pencil to draw some little vertical lines. I'm going to add some value to some of them. Either I can use the tip of my pencil to add some little vertical lines to make some of them like randomly a little darker, or I can use the side of my pencil to add some value to some of them. I just pick random sectors. They don't have to be like evenly split or uniform, just pretty random like this. Okay, so we are going to use a combination of things that we learn. We use side of the pencil and also tip of pencil. Now if you see, we have some negative shapes in between these, let's say tree trunks. They look like tree trunks, like palm trees. So we have some negative bases in between these. So I just use side of pencil to lightly shade between, very lightly, not very dark. Just very lightly I try to shade in between uh, tree trunks here. And finally, I'm going to add some hatches to the background. Also, you can use a tip of your finger or a piece of napkin to soften these, let's say, shades a little bit. That's what I do. I just use a piece of to soften in between these points. Okay, looks very good. And finally, what I do is that I haven't talked about flick, but flick is very simple. So you just start from one point and then pull your pencil toward the direction and release it. It's just like flicks. Can be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal, even curved. It's just flick. So what I do is that I add a little flicks down here, not that much, just a few. And next step would be adjust the light so you see better. I add some little random dots here and there so it gives more texture to your drawing. So it looks nothing, but to me it's like a decorative piece. You can easily frame it and hang it on the wall. So the good thing about this piece of drawing is that you see a variety of good things here. You see variety of good quality of lines, different type of lines, You have like vertical lines, flicks, curves. Sometimes even you can add some horizontal lines if you, for example, you can add some lines like here and there, very random. Nobody asks you what these, it's your thing. So you just want to add these horizontal drawing lines. So no ask why. So you can use these, add these lines. So we have a variety of good lines here. Also, we have a variety of values here. We have like light, have dark, and also have mid-tone here. And also we have some texture here, like these flicks, little dots, and also these lines that added here and there. So it's a nice of drawing to me. So it doesn't say anything. Everybody can see it in their own way. Somebody might think that, oh, it's we are looking at some books, or somebody said that, oh, it looks to me like worms. It doesn't matter as long as it looks. So that's how you do drawing. Now I want you to do together another exercise. Uh, it takes a little longer, but it's fun to do. So we are trying to create a nice piece of decorative drawing together. Uh, I just grab a piece of paper. I put a frame here. It's like a rectangle. Okay, what I need to do is I just draw a wavy line in the middle. We can start here and finish here. Just imagine a path for yourself like this. Yeah, adjust the light so everybody can see better. All right, I just draw a wavy line here, and maybe I spread, I put a dot here, and then I add 4 or 5 more dots, but they don't have to be spaced uh, evenly. You can just vary the spacing. All right, so I have just a line and some dots. So let's get rid of the extra lines. Don't need this. Okay, so next step is that I just pick 2 dots and try to draw a nice curve between. Okay, and I do the same thing for in between other 2 dots. Okay, here we just try to imagine a dot here outside this frame, and we connect this to the dot like this. We imagine that there's a dot here. So the rule is to try to stick to the dot as much as possible. So we continue for the second row. I just start from this dot, then finish to the other one. I do the same thing for each 2 dots, each pair of like dots. Okay. So once you finish the top part, you do the same thing with the bottom part. You just go like this. So basically what we are looking for is something like this. We are looking for something like this. We bring it to our camera so you see it better. So we are looking for something like this. So it looks like a 3D form, like very abstract 3D form of something. And next is that again, we try to add some values here in between these sectors very randomly. But first, take your time to finish this drawing, and then I let you know what the next step is. That, but don't rush this. It really looks like it works as a meditation. So you can easily put a music on, listen to music, and do this for hours. It really looks like meditation. But once drawing the lines, try to practice what you learn. Try to vary the pressure of the pencil, and so if you can, try to spin the pencil between your fingers. You can still do it when you hold the pencil like this. It's a little weird, so it's easier to do it like this. But maybe just play with the pressure of the lines. That's all, because it's going to be too much. Uh, this this concept is in abstract, so if you just spin the pencil, it might be a little too much. But change the pressure of the line, pressure of pencil, and then uh, the darkness and lightness of the lines. So in the meantime, just prepare the second exercise.
Can you show us that other finished one that you were showing before?
Sure. Just put it here. Okay, you can show me where you're at. So if I need to give any direction, I can. Okay, I already shared a picture in a chat box. So if you can download it, we use it as a reference for our next drawing. Um, can you show me your current drawing? So I see doing. Okay, that's very good. Oh, that's perfect. You used gel, you used ink, right? It's a pencil. It's very dark, but that's good. Okay, very good. Perfect. Everybody doing good? Okay. Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. So take your time and finish it later because, or you can start another one. It's as I mentioned, it's like a meditation, so you can do it on. But try to make it bigger. Try to create a nice uh, piece of decorative art. So the next exercise would be more figurative. This one was a little abstract, but next exercise is very figurative. I just walk you through and show you how to do that. We have very simple, so we don't use color for now, but you can add some watercolor later. Share the screen for now. So to show you what do I mean, I just share my screen. Um, okay, I think everybody can see my screen, right? So we are working on this picture. We try to redraw this, but we just lines for now, and we try to use different value of gray. Later, you can add some paint to it. You can use other color or color pencil. It's to you. So let's walk you through that how we do that. So basically, it's a very simple drawing. So what I do is I just start with some circles. Hold the pencil this. I just put a big circle here. I try to spin the pencil and then vary the pressure a little bit. That's the first one. And then I add a smaller circle in the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect. And also a small in the middle. Basically, we have three circles inside each other. That they are inside each other. So a big one, middle one, and small one. So next step is that uh, I just make this middle circle dark. You can use the side of your pencil, doesn't matter. This part is very important. So the direction of the line, the quality of the line is very important. What I do is that I do flick some lines outside of this second circle, but I try to make it in terms of direction be even. So the angle of these flicks are very important. So you have to do it the right angle. It just flips, right? And then next step is I just hold pencil like this and draw a vertical line. I try to play with the value of the line. I spin the pencil. That's the first one. Then for the second one, I just do the same thing. I just draw a circle, oval shape, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Then I put another circle inside, another one, and make the mid one dark. Leave mm, the center dark, the middle one I just leave it blank, and for the bigger one just add some flicks, but make sure the direction of the flick are correct. They are spreading out from the center toward the edges of the big one. And again, I can add one more circle here. So you can have the composition of circles first and then decide about the lines. Go behind other, say, shapes. So it's better to decide about the composition first. For example, like this composition better. So it would be my frame. Okay. And then this gives me a better direction in terms of where my lines are going. For example, for this one, the line goes behind this and then continues here. And also this one goes behind and continue down here. That's why it's better to have the combination of the lines first. Then I just continue with the circles in the middle. And at any time you can add more uh, shapes here. For example, I believe that something's missing here. Just add one more or one small here, and then try to refine my composition. And also maybe one week here. So it means that I have to get rid of these lines here. They go behind this shape. Okay. And also we don't have to stick to a reference. You can always add some stuff here. For example, I think we can add some random vertical diagonal links to the stems here. Some of them can be longer, some of them shorter. And also I would love to add some little dots to the end of some of these sticks. So it gives a more texture and quality to our drawing. That's what I want to do. So I like this much better than the naked one, this one. Mm. Also, I can add little dots somewhere here in middle. Why not? Even it gives more texture to our drawing. Yeah, basically that's how I continue and finish my drawing. So it's all lines. Just uh, use your skills in drawing lines. Just pencil and paper. Try to have drawing different quality of lines. At some points, you can use the side of your pencil for some shading, maybe here, the middle, and I don't think you can add more. This drawing looks simple the way it is. I mean, it looks good the way it is. We have to keep it simple. I was thinking maybe I add some flicks here, but that would be too much. I think that's enough to just use the side of my pencil to shade this part. That's all we need. And for these flicks, I just keep them very light and thin. Just pay attention to the right direction. That's all we need. And maybe these little things. So that's how we finish our drawing. Good. At the end, let me see if I can put some colored pencil to show you. So once it's done, I just use some pencil. Uh, Either you can use the side of your colored pencil to color some parts, uh, like this. Either you can do this, or the other techniques that use like knife like this. What I usually do, I just try to scratch a little of the layer on top of the place that I want to color or paint. Basically, I have little shards of the pencil layer on top. Okay, and then I use a little piece of napkin like this little, and I try to spread them the way I want. So it's up to see. Even you can use a little earbud that works too. It's up to you. But yeah, both work. And also we put some beige color in the middle. Even you can add some watercolor later, but it's up to you. Even maybe pastel too, but let's try and see it works. It has a rougher uh, texture, but let's see how it works. But the color is more vivid. Yeah, the color is more vivid. I was wondering at of these flakes later. Yeah, can use a black colored pencil to fortify these flakes later. Yeah, that works. that works. Okay, I just give some time to work on your drawing and show me your drawing so I see how you're doing. I mean, once you feel like you want to show me something, just take your time. Let me see that. Okay. Okay. Evelyn, that's very good. That's very good. Bring it a little more down. Laura, can you show it again? Okay, that's good. That's good. Lori, that's very good. Sam's very good. Can I see it, Linda, again? I missed yours. Okay, Raven is good. Oh, that's very good. I love the quality lines, especially on the other side of the uh, flower. That's very good. Yeah, just keep going. Then finish the drawing. Um, and let me, in the meantime, put the third exercise we do together, which would be fun. So I think I'm going to share some photos with you, and then we do some drawing together again. Um, 1, 3. Okay, I shared 4 or 5, 4 pictures with you. Okay, let me know when you are ready for the next exercise. So the next exercise that we're doing, I just show you the direction so you can just do it every day at home. It's just a very good exercise. It's very good for to strengthen your observation. So drawing is nothing more than observation. First, you have to observe things around yourself and then try to depict them on your paper or your sketch based on interpretation of your surrounding world. Um, so having said, we are trying to uh, strengthen our observation. Let me share my screen. Uh, okay, all right, that's what we are doing now. It's just empty bottle, can be wine bottle, a bottle of water, doesn't matter. Just the shape is very important. Uh, so one thing which is a little weird is that we try to draw this bottle without looking at it. What I mean is that you see my cursor here. Uh, Everybody can see my cursor moving here, right? Okay. What we do is that we look at one point, like for example this, and then put our pencil or paper. And as we follow the edges with our eyes, we just feel or imagine that it's the tip of it which is following these edges. It means that you have to start here and then put yourself in the state that you feel that the tip of your pencil is just touching here. And then little by little, you just follow the edges, no rush at all, just very slowly. Try to move your pencil along the paper. Maybe when you get here, you can just have a glass in order to adjust pencil, but again, take your eyes off the paper. And again, continue like this. Okay, let me do a quick demonstration for you so you know here. Okay, just put this away. All right, so I just put my pencil somewhere that I feel I'm comfortable. I just put the pencil here. I take a look at subject, and when I think I'm ready, I just start. I just try to feel that the edge of pencil is just touching the bottleneck. It gives your drawing a very nice style. It looks like nothing but your own drawing. So I think I reached to the point. I just take a glance to see if I'm not off. So good. Just continue. I reach here. I think I go up. I think I have to go down here, go up. Oh, that looks, but I like it. It's very stylish. So now I take care of this part. I just take my eyes off again. Just go like this. Looks weird, but that's good. I like it. Now I take care of this part, which is the bottom of the bottle. Okay, yeah, I like it. So it's totally different from what I see there, but I really like it. So let me add another draw to it, which would be this glass. So you see the glass, so I'm trying to add this to my drawing. So I just put my pencil here. Um, just start when I feel I'm good to go. Reach to this point down here. Some stuff going on. Okay. Oh, that looks weird, but I like it. All right. So it's a very unique stylized drawing. Now I can look my drawing, and then what I do is try to add some values somewhere so the drawing doesn't look be flat or boring in terms of or mechanical. So I just add some values here. Since the drawing is totally off, it doesn't matter where or how much value should be. As long as it's different from other parts, it works. Also, I think I just add maybe some lines here. Okay, so that's my drawing. Now I go here, then I add some values here, and maybe okay. So that's a very unique drawing. That's what drawing is about. So what I want you to do is pick one or two of these objects and try to draw it without looking at the paper. And then at the end, show it to everybody, show to everyone what they did. So it's lots of fun. So I really enjoy this drawing. The quality of the line is like priceless. It's a very precious quality of the line. So I sent you four, four pictures. Just download them, pick one or two of them. It's just glasses or bottles, or wine glasses, wine bottle. And also in the meantime, maybe I just do another drawing. Yeah, just do another drawing. See how it goes. Let me zoom in. See what's going. Okay, start here. Hmm, not bad. Okay. Hmm, okay. Okay. Let's use the side of my pencil to add some shading here. Just add some texture here. Yeah, that would be my drawing, I guess. So that's what I drawing. It doesn't look very realistic, but it has its own style. And yeah, that's what I like about drawing. You just pick an object and then interpret it as an artist and just depict it on your paper. Okay, let me see. Okay, that's very good. Raven. Oh, that's very good. That's very good. I like the shading as well. Beautiful. Very good. Very good. Orb, that's very good. I love the curved and bottleneck. Very good. And also the it looks like dancing glass. Beautiful. Very good. Very good. I really enjoy when I get the result like this.